Hello students and parents. In this video lesson, I will be going over our math assignment from earlier today. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, please put your date. Today is the 18th, but if you're doing this on a different day, please let me know by writing it on your paper. For this assignment, we've been talking about more with time, and now we're looking at analog clocks, the round ones we see with the numbers and the arrows or the hands, and the digital clocks that we see probably more often than the circular clocks. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is lesson 2, topic 14. Okay, so first things first, please draw your clock and put a dot in the middle, and then put 1, 2, 3 lines. O'clock. I'm just setting up, and then draw a digital clock on the side with 2 dots in the middle. Now, we watched a video earlier with this assignment, and we were looking at how the times on a digital and an analog clock were the same or different. So I'm going to go ahead and put my numbers in my clock. Okay, so we have that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to write H for hour, because we know the hour hand is blue, and M for minute, because the minute hand is red. So for our clock, we are going to write the time 10 o'clock. That is the time. On our digital clock, it says 10 o'clock. So that means we need to create it onto our analog clock. So first things first is, let's look at the hour. Now the numbers behind the 2 dots is for the hour. So that means that has to be, our arrow has to be pointing at the 10, but the blue arrow, not the red arrow, because the red arrow does the minutes, which is on the other side to the right of the dots. So we're looking at the number to the left, and we see that's a 10. So we're going with our blue color. We're going to draw our blue arrow, which is our hour hand, towards the 10. And make sure that it's little. It's not supposed to be long. It's not supposed to be touching the number. It's just be short. Then we're going to write down here for hour, we're going to write 10. Then for the zeros on the other side to the right of the dots, now we're thinking, okay, well, this is actually brought up by one of the students earlier. They said, how am I supposed to write the minutes, or where am I supposed to put the minute hand if there's no zeros on the clock? Well, from last or yesterday's video, I should say, we saw that the minute hand was facing the 12 whenever it said o'clock, and that means 0. This is the starting point. It starts at 0 and it goes all the way around. Okay, so if we were to put it this way, it would start at the 12, and that's a 0. And if we go this way, it would just get bigger, bigger, and bigger, and bigger, and we'd have different numbers here instead of zeros. But when the minute hand touches the 12, it's the same as 2 zeros over here. So instead of writing 2 zeros, it is 12. Okay, so just to reconfirm, o'clock is the same as 0, which is the 12 on our analog clock. Our minute hand is longer than the blue hand, which is for hours, and it touches the 12. When it touches the 12, it means o'clock, which means zeros for minutes. Then once it passes the 12, then it's all these other numbers. Now for our hour hand, it should be pointing towards the 10, which is also the same on a digital clock. When it's to the left of the 2 dots in the middle, that tells us our hour. If you want, we could even do that and get it a little more specific. Hour and minutes. Now, for o'clock, we need to see, okay, o'clock is the minutes, and we know that there's no minutes because it's 10 o'clock. So we need to put our hour here in the blank, which would be 10. So the time is 10 o'clock. It could be AM, PM, which is afternoon or morning. but we'll get there soon eventually. So for your own, by yourself, I want you to create another clock and fill in all the numbers, again, just like the one up here, and then put 3 lines and set it up just like the one on the top. Then in here, I'm gonna write, let's do 3 o'clock. Then what I want you to do is I want you to write this on this side on your analog clock and make the arrows to show 3 o'clock. And that is going to conclude our video lesson for math for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and I will gladly answer. Okay, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.